There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live at Manuel S. Enverga University Foundation. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, PSG Global Solutions, and VXI Global Solutions. So before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer followed by the singing of the national anthem and school hymn.
Praise Him, Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhatit pagsinta, buhay ang langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Ready na ba kayo? By the way, my name is Joyce from Academic Linkages. I will be your today's host, and we are live, guys, via Facebook and YouTube today. So we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today, okay? So to officially start today's session, may we invite Mr. Celso Habalia, VP for External Relations, Manuel S. Enverga University Foundation, for the opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to welcome you all in today's career orientation program for our third and fourth year college students. Our university is quite fortunate to have with us once again our strategic partner, the Jobs180.com. A strong partner, the Jobs180.com, an IT company, is focused on providing innovative solutions that enable academic institutions like Enverga University to equip its graduates meet the complex demands of the current generation's employers based on the changing needs of the job-seeking millennials, even amidst the present health crisis due to COVID-19 pandemic. The Jobs180.com sees to it that all the needs of our job seekers, employers, and even the school administrators are met. As graduating students in this academic institution, you are the focus of this cooperative program. Our partnership with Jobs180.com will help increase your employability right after your graduation or even before and during your on-the-job training and internship program. And so this afternoon, let us all avail the services the Jobs180.com has been offering to all of us, especially to you, our dear students. To Jobs180.com, we welcome you on behalf of our Chairman CEO, Wilfrido Lopez Enverga, and President COO, Madam Naila Enverga Leberiza. And we thank you for providing employment opportunities to our graduating students.
All right, so thank you so much also, Mr. Celso Habalia, for gracing your event today. So As usual, for our audience today, please comment your name, guys, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Okay? So, huwag po kayong mahiya. Don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So, kung wala pa sila dito, tawagin nyo na. Kasi nakakapanghinayang naman if mamimiss nila itong opportunity nila na ito. Okay? So, this is once in a lifetime. So, might grab the opportunity. Okay, so here's our schedule for today. So we have online applications using ResumeLink by jobs180.com. We also have hiring in the new normal by PSG Global Solutions and work from home opportunities by VXI Global. So again, shout out to everyone who is here na. Again, please comment your name, your course, and as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Okay, so sabi ko, wag kayong mahiya. This is your chance to ask before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Okay? So if you're ready now, guys, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. So for our first topic, which is online applications using ResumeLink, he has spent years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. Our managing director from jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No, not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan ang tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala tong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat. This should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-log in. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kina-account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman, pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR, kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on-off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating ko sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng ResumeLink. Just transfer them here inside the ResumeLink para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano yung ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan, ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course, wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa, that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes, a picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-isulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kayang-kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pero nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper, na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So, hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay, sayang lang oras nyo at oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat yung gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Di ba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills o sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Di ba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Huwag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real-time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So yan. So tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position na in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into 1 page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng ResumeLink card. Ano tong ResumeLink card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming ResumeLink card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In 1 piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa ResumeLink card mo ay syempre ang inyong ResumeLink. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang ResumeLink mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that 1-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung makakapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cellphone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganon. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data. Pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secure na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me here sa info@jobs180.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chua lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Alright, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat po. And of course, the floor is now open for questions. So if you have questions, guys, MSEUF, you may now ask questions. Okay? So, and mamaya rin naman, kung may isip kayo, kahit na nagsasalita pa yung speaker natin, pwede nyo naman i-type yung questions nyo para mamaya, ma-ready natin sa susunod na speaker. Okay? So, kayong mahiyang magtanong. Okay? So, hello, Sir Kim. Good afternoon po.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ayan.
Ayos.
So we're hoping na sana lahat ay magaling na sa flu or kung ano man yan.
Sana di sila kumain ng buko salad or ng malamig na soft drinks. Yan, yung mga dahilan kung bakit tayo pumapalya.
Ayan. Medyo sa akin nga may konting sabit pa. Ayan. So medyo down kami ng mga nakaraang araw kaya ngayon bumabawi-bawi si Jobs 180. Okay. So anyway, sir, habang naghihintay po tayo ng questions from the audience, wala pa. Ayan. So, guys, pwede na mag-ask ng questions, ha? So, sir, ayan, may sumasabit. How beneficial it is po to have resume link and of course po, to know Jobs 180 lalo na ngayong pandemic.
Okay, how beneficial is this tool? No, if kung tama yung pagkaintindi ko sa question mo, Ma'am Joyce, to have a resume link, it doesn't, una sa lahat, it doesn't mean that you're looking for a job, kaya ka lang gagawa ng resume link. Now, this is also something that you can use even just for you to to collate all your profile, yung information mo. And if you don't share it to anyone, wala namang makakaalam niyan. Dahil sabi ko nga sa inyo, you try going to jobs180.com, you cannot search for any resume links. No, hindi siya searchable. Hindi siya kagaya ng mga social media sites na pag tinype ko yung halimbawa, Albert, then I'll probably get a few thousand Alberts. So, ano yung pinaka-benefit netong resume link? Marami. Pero I'll put it in practical application para makarelate kayo. Una, pag gumawa ka ng resume link na ikaw lang may alam ng settings mo, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo, una sa lahat is that you'll be getting invitations from your school, from your alma mater. In this case, from Enverga University. So, ibig sabihin na invitation is, kunyari meron tayong mga future events, kagaya nito, meron tayong mga webinars, meron tayong mga virtual career fair later on, you'll be getting those invitations just simply because you created a resume link. Ganun lang kasimple. Now, it is up to you to react to the invitation. If nakakuha ka ng invitation at ayaw mo naman pansinin, ayaw mo pumunta, di wag mong pansinin, di ba? Di wag mo i-join. Pero kung gusto mo mag-join, whether may trabaho ka or wala, nag-explore ka or hindi, pwede ka mag-click ng action na yon, which is to join the event. So, dun pa lang, malaking benefit na yan para sa inyo because you don't have to, you don't have to worry about kung ano mga activities na nangyayari kasi kayo ang pinapadalhan. Now, speaking of kayo pinapadalhan, isa pa sa magandang feature or benefit nitong resume link is that you'll be getting invitations from companies who will be matching your profile. So, ang maganda dyan is may trabaho ka or wala. Imagine na, may trabaho ka, minamatch ka pa rin. So it is up to you now again to take the action na. Kung gusto mo tanggapin yung invitation ng mga companies, di accept, di explore, di ba? You can move to the next steps to explore for possible greener pastures, sabi nga nila, or for whatever career opportunities ang meron. Now, kung hindi naman kayo naghahanap, di wag mo pansinin, just disregard those invitation, di ba? So yan yung mga nakita kong practical aspect, when you have a resume link nowadays. Yan. Okay? So I hope na answer ko yung tanong ni Ma'am Joyce. Yes.
Ayan,
may question tayo from the audience.
May question tayo from Miss Micaela Tares. So what if po wala pang working experience and is it okay to put any job experiences on my resume?
Ito yung sasabihin ko lang, huwag tayong mag-imbento. Okay? Kung wala, wala. Kung meron, meron. Okay? So, itong work experience, do not limit it to corporate or formal corporate jobs. No? Kasi sabi ko nga, ang work experience, kahit na summer job yan, part-time job, or nag-racket-racket kayo, or nag-sideline, as long as you consider them as a work experience, then you can put it there. Now, as you register, may isang portion doon kasi, may isang step doon that you have to put your work experience. Now, kung wala ka naman talagang work experience, you can skip that portion. Okay, and then later on, pag meron na, then saka mo ngayon i-edit yung account mo. Okay? Micaela, ayos. Okay.
Ayan, tama. Okay, so next, sir, may question pa from the audience nakita ko. Ayan, so from Mr. Mac Salazar or MC Salazar. Good afternoon po. May mga government company rin po kaya sa Jobs 180? Thank you po.
May mga government company. You might want to check out some of the companies there na related or affiliated sa government. Basta ang masasabi ko lang, ito sigurado ko is, we do our due diligence. The companies that you see sa jobs180.com, na check na po namin kahit papaano yung background nila at yung legitimacy ng company. So you can try to explore. Now, in the event lang, halimbawa lang, no, sir, hindi ko masure ko, MC nga ba or Mac, if you are going to explore for companies in the LGU, no, sa local government units natin, no, mga local agencies, pwede mo rin naman gamitin yung resume link mo kahit na wala sila sa jobs180.com. So, pag pumunta ka sa kumpanya, nakita mo yung email address nila, or nakita mo yung physical address, example lang, na malapit lang yung pupuntahan mong opisina nila, pwede mo naman una i-print yung resume link mo, kagaya na in-explain ko kanina. So you have a hard copy if they need a hard copy. Now, sa panahon ngayon, hindi ko talaga nire-recommend yung hard copy kasi sayang sa pera gastos lang yan, di ba? Tsaka baka liparin pa yan. So, ang pwede mo ngayon gawin, you can just email them using your resume link na wala ng attachment. Huwag ka na mag-attach yung mga Word file or whatever doc or PDF file pa dun sa email na pampabigat lang at saka magiging outdated din eventually. Hindi mo pa control yung privacy setting. Diba? At least, you just put your resume link, pwede mo pa rin i-email dun sa mga kumpanya. Okay? So, ganun lang. Explore lahat ng pwedeng opportunities. Mapa-government, mapa-private sector, go lang, go. Sabi nga. Okay? There. Oh, another question from Ma'am Angeli.
From Ms. Angeli, good afternoon po. Pwede din po kayo mag-create ng CV aside sa resume. Thank you.
Pwede pa mag-create ng curriculum
Ng
vitae aside sa
CV.
resume, syempre naman, di ka namin pipigilin. I mean, di ka namin pipigilan. Okay, you can create one. Ito gawin mo, Ma'am Angeli. Ito, magandang tip ito. Kung meron ka na na-prepare na document, nagawa mo na yung CV mo, di ba? Yung buong talambuhay mo, nagawa mo na, no? Yung buong information mo. Okay? So, one option, yung pinakamabilis is just copy all the information, di ba? Lipat mo sa loob ng resume link. Yan yung isang pinakamabilis na aspect. Now, another way to do it is after you create your resume link, meron ka ng resume link mo, pwede mo i-attach yung file na yan under the document section. So if you have other things you want to show there, meron kang CV, meron kang mga medical records, government IDs, or academic files. Depende kung ano gusto mo pa ipakita. No, magaling ka sa arts and crafts. You want to show those portfolio mo. You have, I don't know, what else? Meron kang iba pang things na gusto mo i-share other than your CV. Example lang, you can also attach it dun sa may document tsaka portfolio section. So yan yung maganda dito sa tool na to. Very flexible. Okay, very flexible. Okay? Yes. I hope na-answer ko yung tanong ni Ma'am.
So next, Sir Kian. From Ms. Michaela, again, another question to raise po. Any tips to make our profile professional even though we are still students since we are starting? Thank you.
Any tips to make your profile professional? Okay. Ito masasabi ko ngayon, bubulong lang ako, pero as if naman bulong lang maririnig nyo. Pero hindi to bulong, okay? You clean up your social media handles, yung mga social media accounts nyo. Because nowadays, HR people, they also do background checking. Napakabilis, di ba? Type ko lang, Micaela Torres. Maybe I'll see one of those Micaela Torres na ikaw pala yon in social media accounts. And you want to make sure lang na whatever HR people will see doon sa pag sinearch natin ng Micaela Torres, it would also look professional. So, yeah, we have a different topic no altogether about how to be more professional with your social media, parang how to take care of your social media accounts and all that. Pero ang masasabi ko lang dito is you can put whatever you want to put here sa resume link for as long as it represents yourself and you're able to market yourself more effectively. So ano yung mga effective ways to market yourself? You put here your skills, kasi yan ang unang-unang tinitignan ng mga companies, ng mga HR. Okay, I'm speaking also on behalf of other HR. Yan yung isa sa mga tinitignan kaagad, yung skills. Diba? If you have the skills to fit the profile that they're looking for. And then, you also look at how you're composing yung information na yun. Diba? Kung proper nouns yan, better capitalize din those, yung mga letters na yan. Kasi may iba, kung magsulat, malajeje. Diba? Although, wag naman mag-shortcut. Diba? Example lang, diba? Yung mga, alam mo na yung ibig sabihin, no? If you're going to say you just type the entire Y-O-U. Don't just say letter U. You get my point. Okay, so yan yung mga sample ko to make then your profile more professional. Okay, because whatever you put in your resume link or other things na as point of reference, these are reflective of that person. Okay, so yan. Micaela, thank you sa tanong mo. I hope nasagot ko. Okay? Ayan.
All right.
Aba, meron pang tanong. Sige, kay Sir Almar.
Last question for
bilisan ko na lang mag-answer. Okay.
Okay, sir. So good afternoon. Is it okay to put the volunteer experience as a work experience in the resume? For example, experience in journalism, work immersion in senior high, etc.
Yes. Yan ang sagot ko dyan. Yes. Lagay mo dyan lahat. Okay?
All right. And last,
Luis.
sir, what if I was currently working as a new hire in private company that I love, but suddenly my dream job offers me and yet I'm still a JO? What should I do if the opportunity cost is the same for both jobs? What will be good in my resume for the future?
Ito yung mga happy problem.
Tama.
Meron kang dalawang kumpanya na lumalapit sa'yo. Well, the other one you're saying is you're currently working, which you love dun sa trabaho na yan. And the other one is your dream job. So, isa love mo, isa dream mo. Diba? Anong gagawin natin? Diba? Torn between the two opportunities. This is a very, very happy problem, Sir Luis. I recommend ko ganito. You weigh your options. Okay? Because una-una sa lahat, nandyan ka na sa love mo na trabaho. Okay? So when I say you weigh your options, you look at the cost and benefit. Try mo timbangin. Okay? Look at also yung aspect, hindi lang on the monetary side, hindi lang yung financial side. You also look at your career growth, yung values mo dun sa company. Diba? Pasok ba siya? Do you see yourself also with that company moving forward in the next couple of years, no? I'm not saying na until you retire. Hindi naman kailangan mo na pag-usapan yung retirement, no? Pero at least you see yourself in a couple of years, 3 to 5 years, doing what you love pa rin ba in that company. And then versus dun sa dream job mo, ba't mo siya naging dream job? 'Di ba? Kasi hindi mo pa natitikman eh. Dream pa lang naman 'yun, 'di ba? Every one of us has a dream job, I'm sure. 'Di ba? Pero try to put yourself now in that company and see na kung ito ba ano pa rin, kasing timbang pa rin ba nung current na trabaho mo. Now, ako lang, ito lang isang practical tip ko, practical advice ko. Explore mo pa rin yung dream job mo. 'Di ba? Until such time dumating na sabi mo nga, magkaroon ng job offer, then doon ka na sa crossroad, doon ka na mag-isip. Pero definitely, wag magmo-moonlighting. Okay? So, ano lang talaga, pagka love, pag dream. Okay? So, kung ano gusto mo ang puntahan, isa lang ang puntahan natin trabaho. Unless yung schedule, pwedeng pagsabayin. Okay? And if both companies are okay, given your current scenario, then why not? Diba? In the morning, trabaho ka for 8 hours, dun sa love mo, then the next 8 hours, dun ka sa dream mo, baka naman di 8 hours kailangan, baka 4 hours lang. So meron ka pang 12 hours na natira para sa mga other activities mo. Pati sa pagtulog mo na rin, 'di ba? Kasi kailangan natin matulog. Okay? Ayun lang. So I hope na-answer ko yung tanong mo, Sir Luis.
Masyado ka naman blessed, Sir Luis. Baka kailangan ka ng patumbahin. Ay, joke.
Sana all yan. Sana all. Kung ganyan ang scenario.
Okay, sige. So, ayan. So, maraming salamat, Sir Kim. And guys, if you'd like to know more about ResumeLink, you may visit our page, www.jobs180.com. And of course, for more job opportunities, you may visit www.jobs180.com or your school page po, schools.jobs180.com/MSEUF. Am I correct, sir?
That's correct. Naka-scroll ngayon sa screen. Nakita nila.
Ayan. Nag-run siya sa screen. Okay. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat din. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Stay safe, Sir Kim, also. Ayan. So, let's proceed with our next speaker. So, again, guys, if you have questions later on, please comment lang yan, okay, para mabasa natin, ma-ready natin for our next speaker. So, for our next speaker for today, talking about hiring in the new normal, she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and is a registered psychometrician, joined PSG as a fresh graduate, and now has almost 2 years of experience working in recruitment and human resources. The sourcing associate and internal recruitment of PSG Global Solutions, Ms. Samantha Bugos. Hi, Ms. Sam. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Joyce, and to all of our
one of my favorite speakers. Ganda, diba? Ayan, so, ma'am, if you're ready, please, can you share your screen po? Can we test your share screen?
Let me share my screen now. Let me know po if you can see my
Ayan,
screen.
guys. Yes. Okay. Yes, ma'am, it's up. Okay, ma'am, so if you're ready po, I'll see you po after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Ms. Sam.
All right, thank you, Ms. Joyce. So again, thank you to all of our participants and everyone who joined the event today. My name is Sam, and I'll be discussing hiring in the new normal. But first, I want to discuss. I first want to introduce my company, PSG. So we are PSG. We are the world's largest and fastest growing provider of outsourced recruiting support to the U.S. staffing industry. So PSG is an RPO company. We are very similar to BPO companies. However, RPO stands for Recruitment Process Outsourcing. So again, very similar to BPO, but we handle more human resources and staffing related jobs. All right. So first, hiring in the new normal. First, you have to prepare for the process. Okay, so this is really important and a really important first step in discovering the new normal and how we hire. So first, do your research. Okay, do your research on the company that you want to apply for, and then see if they match your skill set, and if they offer on-site or work from home. So these are things that you should just consider before you start prepping for interviews. Okay. And second, make sure that your CV or resume is updated and organized. Okay. So your CV is basically your first, this is your first, this is how you make your first impression with your internal recruiters. This is the first thing they see before interviewing you. So usually when you apply, right, they ask for your can I ask for your updated CV? Okay, so we might see your name, we might see your number, your which school you graduated from, which university you graduated from, and what course. But other than that, most of the things about you are usually in your CV, right? So make sure that it's updated and organized. So account for new ways of working, especially in the new normal. You have to prepare to start a new job, and it's important to prepare for the fact that things might be different. Even if it's a similar role to one you've done before, the pandemic has changed many aspects of day to day work. Okay, so let's say your parent works as an employee ng 8 to 5, and you're familiar to how they work. But since we're in a pandemic, um, even if you're looking to start a job similar to them, you have to look if it's still being done the same now as it was before. So really doing your research is really important, okay? And you have to prepare yourself that there's plenty of ways of working now. Like yung working from home. Okay? So basically, in the new normal, we've introduced itong new application processes. So three things that you need to remember dun sa new application process. First is phone interviews, and then second, video interviews, third is online skills test. Okay? So before, um, when we used to apply to companies, we had to go on site and have face-to-face interviews, but that's a thing of the past. Well, not for some companies, some companies still require you to go on site for an interview, but in the new normal, most of the companies, like 90% of companies now in the Philippines, have these three new application processes. So first, usually when you submit your application, um, you'll be scheduled for an initial phone interview, okay? An initial phone interview. And, it's basically just getting your information, getting to know more about you, getting to see if your qualifications fit dun sa in-applyan niya, right? And usually the final part, I'm talking about PSG, but most companies also do this when you move on to your final interview, right? So there's like the first interview and the final interview. Usually for the final interview, it's a video interview, and later on we'll be talking more about how I can prepare you guys, or like tips on how video interviews work. All right, and third is the online skills test. Not all companies have this, but before there used to be a paper and pen test that you had to accomplish just to see, so that we can have a better grasp of your qualifications for the role. But now we have online skills tests, since again, we won't be really needing you to go on site to accomplish any paper, pencil tests. All right. So here are tips on what to wear for a virtual interview. So we're delving on to the second one. Okay, so for the first one, I think it's really explanatory, but I do have tips later on, then some questions and how to answer them. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's delve on to the tips on what to wear for a virtual interview. So first, it's really safe to always wear professional attire. Okay, so ano lang siya, like, it's the safest option. But you can always ask your recruiter, like, for example, on your first initial interview, you can ask if they decide to move on to the final interview, and it's a video interview, you can ask them what's a proper attire. So mostly it's casual, business casual, formal casual, or like a t-shirt will do. So you can ask your recruiter, but usually always wear a professional attire just to make sure, just to be sure, if you didn't know. So coordinate with your surroundings, the second one. So let's say you have a plain white background. Try not to wear plain white shirt as well, so that you don't look like a floating head, right? So also, if it's a black background, try avoiding wearing black shirts. Okay, so that you won't look like a floating head. Try contrasting colors, like right now, like what I'm doing. So I have a white background and a black, or a dark blue shirt, or vice versa. All right, so that you coordinate with your surroundings. The third one is to remove any distracting elements. Okay, so any distracting elements that might hinder your hiring manager or your recruiter from hiring you, try to take those out. So maybe you're in the middle of the interview, you're really into the conversation, and you feel like you're doing good. Tapos yun pala, you're wearing a really big necklace, that your recruiter can't seem to brush off. Like it's really distracting. Also, in your backgrounds, check, so forth. Record yourself in what you're going to wear. So this is a really good practice, so that you know what you look like sa perspective ng recruiter. So what I did when I was first, applying for jobs, what I did was I practiced interview questions, and then I recorded myself so that I could see how a recruiter would view me. So in their perspective, how they would be able to view me in what I was wearing. And so that I could give myself tips on how to better myself, so I can improve, right? So this is a really good tip, when especially now everyone usually uses video interview. So it's good that you have a clear camera. If you don't have your own laptop, as long as your phone can do it, if you have like Zoom or Google Meet on your phone or your iPad or any other devices, that's good. But if you have a laptop, make sure that your camera is clear. Okay, so that's just my tips for the video interviews. These are also examples. So I have a couple of pictures to for examples. So if you have a blouse, a polo shirt, a suit, so those are really good. And these are a bunch of other examples. All right. So let's move on to common interview questions. So these are things, even not in the new normal. So, right, we're discussing the new normal. So these are common interview questions that may be asked during the phone interview. So the initial interview over the phone, or it may be asked again during the final interview. So I've narrowed it down to 5 questions, but you can search more questions naman, example questions online. So it's really accessible if you want to practice more, if you want to see, but I've just narrowed it down to 5 na hindi talaga almost mawawala sa bawat set of questions. All right. So number one, tell me about yourself. This is usually the icebreaker, how you begin. So when you pick up the phone, hello, this is Samantha from PSG Global Solutions, and we received your application. And then you'll be like, hello. So yes, I did submit my resume or my application. So first, tell me about yourself before we begin. Okay. Ayon. So this question seems simple, right? It's very simple, like tell me about yourself. But so many people fail to prepare for it. It's really crucial, okay? Here's the deal. Don't give your complete employment history. Instead, give a pitch. One that's concise and compelling, and that shows exactly why you're the right fit for the job. So every chance you have of telling your recruiter why you're the perfect or why they should choose you, take it. Okay, even if it's just tell me about yourself. So my name is Sam, and I'm really interested about this job because so this is just a tip on, number one, when you tell the recruiter more about yourself. So, number two is how did you hear about this position? So, basically, employers just want to know whether you are actively seeking out their company, heard of the role from a recruiter, or were recommended to the position by a current employee. In short, they want to know how you got to them. Okay? So, ayun, they usually just want to know how you heard. If matagal mo na, like the question earlier, right? Like it's the dream job from your dream company. They want to know stuff like that. Like you want to apply because matagal mo nang gustong mag-apply. Nag-aaral ka pa lang sa college but you already wanted to apply to their company. So these are things that also if you're a referral, let's say your friend, you can go like um so how did you hear about position? You can say, oh, my friend told me about your company and how it's really made an impact in her life and how working for you has been so great, and I want to experience the same things she's been experiencing. So these are just some things, that a recruiter might want more information about. Okay, so third is, why do you want to work at this specific company? So there are plenty of companies, but why this specific company? So beware of generic answers. So um, try not to have a generic answer. Now you can answer for a bunch of different companies. Let's say you apply at sa 4 companies, and then they ask you this question: why do you want to work at this company? And then you answer the same for each and every company. So make sure that you stand out, because what you can say can apply to a whole slew of other companies. Then you're missing an opportunity to stand out. Do your research about the company, their background, and point to something that makes the company unique, that really appeals to you. Talk about how you watched the company grow and change since you first heard of it. Focus on the organization's opportunities for future growth and how you can contribute to it. Or share what's gotten you excited from your interactions with employees so far. Ayun. Ayan, so just if you take every opportunity to stand out from the rest of the candidates, what do you offer? What's different? Let's say I want to work at this company because I hear that the salary is really great. Okay, so that might be a really good answer, but what if um your answer is the same with 5 different candidates, right? So what makes you stand out if you all have the same answer? So again, just do your research. Do a little background check before you apply, so that this is really common actually when you ask um applicants, like, so what do you know about our company? And the response usually is, I don't really know much about the company. I mean, that's okay, but it's really it makes you stand out if you've already done your research dun sa company na yan, right? So fourth, why do you want this job? Why should we hire you? It's very similar to, why do you want to work at this company? Why do you want this job? Why should we hire you? Again, companies ask these questions because they want to hire people who are passionate about the job. Okay? So you should have a great answer about why you want the position, right? So if you really want a specific job, you should have a great answer to it. If you can't seem to find the right answer or a great answer, then maybe you don't really want that job, right? If you don't have enough reasons to love the job, or you're not really passionate about it, maybe it's not for you. Look for something else that you're really passionate about. Okay? So number five, what questions do you have for me? During the last part of an interview, the recruiter will always ask, do you have any questions for me before we end the call? Do you have any questions for me before we conclude the interview? So don't waste this opportunity. Ask really smart questions, okay? Not just as a way to show you're a great candidate, but also to see if the company is a good fit for you. After all, you're being interviewed, but you're also interviewing the company. Okay? So, hindi lang naman ikaw yung ini-interview. You're also looking for companies that best suit your skill set and ano talaga yung hinahanap niyo sa company. Okay? So, this is a really great opportunity to ask what they offer. So, some examples, especially now in the new normal, it's really important that you ask these questions like, do you offer work from home? Okay. Do you offer equipment to your employees? Do you provide equipment to your employees? So in this case, in our company, PSG Global Solutions, we do. So for our hires, we provide the equipment, and we also provide work from home. Okay. So these are things that you need to think about, especially, this is the new normal. Um, like, a lot of companies are working from home now, so that you won't be able to risk your health in the midst of this crisis. Okay? So that basically concludes my discussion. If you guys have any questions for me, you can post them on the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them after this. So for inquiries and applications, just send an email to recruiting@psglobalsolutions.com. Or you can go to Jobs 180 and search PSG Global Solutions, and then you can see all of our openings and see which openings fit you the best. All right. Okay, so we also have this referral network program. Even if you are not currently employed at PSG, we have this referral program. So let's say you're still studying, you're not graduating yet, but you know someone, you have a tita, you have a best friend who already graduated, who would love to work with us. Okay, so all you do is send their resumes. If they pass, you get 2,000 pesos for recruitment specialist. If they get hired as a recruitment specialist, it's 2,000. If for team leaders, it's $300. For manager and directors, it's $500. So for those of you na may makamag-anak na team leaders, managers, directors, you can refer them over to us, and if you get hired, you get these incentives. Okay? So you can send your referrals names at recruiting at psgglobalsolutions.com. All right? How do I refer? So again, send an email to recruiting at psgglobalsolutions.com. Subject line should be NRP, stands for Network Referral Program. All right, so details needed, name of your referral, valid contact number, valid email address, or you can use this QR code. But really, you can just send an email to recruiting. Okay, so like and follow us. That concludes my discussion, Miss Joy. And
All
thank you
right.
everyone for listening.
Okay, so thank you so much, Miss Sam. Now, the floor is now open for questions, guys. So if you have questions po for Miss Sam, okay, and if interested kayo sa company niya, ayan, curious kayo, pwede na kayo mag-ask ng question. And so habang hinihintay tayo ng questions, meron tayong prepare na tanong for Miss Sam. Okay, so now that, ayun na ready pala Miss Sam, ayan. Ayan, parang meron ako nakikitang question. Okay, so first muna, now that companies po are making transitions from in-person to a virtual talent acquisition process po, no? How do we ensure po that these candidates hired are verifiable, qualified, and of course a great fit with your company's culture?
I'm sorry. So, you're asking for how we can make sure that the candidates are qualified for the job that they're applying for now that we're in a virtual, world na.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So, that's where your resumes come in. So, yung ginagawa yung resume link. So, that's really how we check your qualifications. Also, when we talk to you, we will be seeing how you're able to converse, how you're able to hold a conversation. So these are just some things how we see that a candidate is qualified for a specific role. Also, we do, yung nga sinabi ni Sir Kim, like we do background checks for the candidates before they start naman.
Mm-mm. All right. So thank you, ma'am. So we have question po from audience from Mr. John Vincent Pastor Fide. Okay, so is PSG jobs the same with the virtual assistant jobs po ba? And if ano-ano po kaya ang mga tips nyo kung mag-a-apply po ako in a job like that? And lastly, is your company looking for interns, especially for communication student like me?
Right. Okay. So
Ayan.
thank you, John Vincent, for that question. So let's answer. Medyo maraming questions. First
Madaming
question:
questions.
Is
Ayan na.
PSG jobs the same with virtual assistant jobs po ba? So PSG, I'm not really familiar with virtual assistants, but I do have a grasp of the concept ng virtual assistants. And I don't think that they're the same. PSG offers jobs. So again, we are an RPO company. It's similar to BPO companies, but RPO, recruitment process outsourcing, we handle more of human resources and staffing. Okay? So our openings usually, ang lagi naming may opening is recruitment specialist. So for a communication student like you, it's something that you might want to explore being a recruitment specialist. We also have openings again for team leaders, but you would need some experience, accounting graduate. So again, for our openings, you can see the qualifications and job descriptions over to Jobs 180. So you can just view it. You can check Jobs 180, psgglobalsolutions.com. So PSG Global Solutions, so that you may be able to see the job description and qualifications. For the second question, and if ano-ano po kayo mga tips niyo kung mag apply po ako in a job like that. Okay, so tips when if you're applying for a virtual assistant jobs. So when you're applying for jobs like these, it's important to tingnan niyo yung qualifications and job descriptions talaga. Baka naman ang qualifications kailangan ng 2 years of experience but you don't have that, right? So before you send your application, make sure that your skill set fit the qualifications that a company is looking for. Okay? And you have to make sure that you can do the things being asked of you. Like usually pag ganyan, virtual assistant jobs, I've seen them since I'm the one posting jobs sa mga um ads namin. So I've been seeing virtual assistant jobs. Usually, kailangan familiar ka sa mga ganitong software, but there is training. I'm pretty sure there's training. So if you're confident you can do that, then why not? Just practice. Virtual assistant, I know, kailangan maganda yung communication skills mo, yung English skills. So it's really good that you practice upon that. A lot of candidates fail. Number one pa lang yung English. It's really good if you guys practice your English na talaga. So, and lastly, is your company looking for interns, especially for communication student like me? So, we are currently not hiring for interns, but when we do, it's usually for a human resource job. So, if you're still interested, you can, ano naman, a communication student, I feel like you'd be open to a lot of possibilities. Like, hindi lang
Mhm.
siya isang path, marami kang pwedeng i-take na path. So, you can also explore human resources sa internship mo so you can see if it's something that you would like to pursue. Yun. So I hope that answered your question and thank you. If you have any follow-up questions, you can just send it again or send an email sa prinabay ko earlier. Ayan. Second question, we have
Ayan.
from Anne Muzares. Ano po impression niyo sa mga applicants na may tattoo? Dapat po ba itago during the interview? So it really depends, no? What type of tattoo? Baka naman sa forehead yan ang pangalan nyo. Huwag naman ganon. But if it's like a tattoo na not really sure eh. It really depends on what the tattoo is, where it is placed to know if it's but for our company, we don't really discriminate for people na may tattoo. We have employees that have tattoos. It just depends. Wag lang siguro sa face or I'm not really familiar but ayun. We do accept applicants with tattoos, just not siguro yung sobrang loud tattoos. But ayan, if you wanna tago it during the interview, you can. And then just disclose it sa actually may tattoo po ako, pwede po kaya, right? Before the So, yeah, that's just the tip. Ayan.
All
Thank
right.
you, Anne.
Ayan. Thank you, ma'am. And of course, before we end our segment for today, ma'am, do you have openings, vacancies po for the graduating students? Ayan. Baka interested sila.
Yes, we do have openings for graduating students. So, we don't need experience. So, usually, di ba, mga companies kailangan na
Mhm.
experience. Paano magkaka-experience if wala nagbibigay ng job? So, here at PSG, we have openings, recruitment specialist na agad kayo, recruitment specialist for fresh graduates. So you can just go over to our jobs 180 PSG Global Solutions. Most of our openings are pwede for fresh graduates, like recruitment specialist, yung accounting as associate, So for those of you who are in accounting, you can apply for our accounting openings. And for those who want to delve into human resources then and recruitment, you can apply for recruitment specialist. Okay? Again, ayun, feeling ko nabenta ko na earlier yung PSG with our we provide equipment to work from home. So these are things you have to ask when you're applying for a company if these are things that you're interested in taking. But if you want to go on site, look for a job that offers on site. Ayun
All
naman.
right. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Sam. And of course, last na lang po, advice for the graduating students.
All right, advice for the graduating students. And so, I guess look for jobs that you are passionate about, okay? Because alam ko marami sa inyo nakakakita yung if you choose a job that you're passionate about, then you don't have to work a day in your life because it's really something that you want to do eh. Walang pumipilit sa'yo gumawa nun. Okay? So, before you set out into the next part of your lives after graduating, make sure that you're doing something that you love. So that's really my advice for everyone.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Sam. Thank you so much for joining us today po. We wish to have you on our next set of webinars. So ingat mo, ingat po.
All right.
So
Thank you, Miss Joyce. Thank you,
thank you,
everyone.
Miss Sam. Thank you. So guys, if you're interested, again, you may visit jobs180.com/PSG Global Solution. So kanina si Sir John, may question siya, di ba, regarding virtual assistant jobs. And of course, meron yan sa Jobs 180. You may visit our page. Again nga, www.jobs180.com. Sayang si Athena, no? Si Athena Go kasi yung madalas kasi mag-offer ng virtual assistant job. So, ayan sila, yung mga VA. And so, you may check out their page. And of course, kay Jobs 180 directly or your school portal. Okay? So, if you have questions pa, later on, we'll, read it later, okay? So, i-reserve nyo lang lahat yan, okay? So, for our last topic for today, so we have work from home opportunities, which will be discussed by VXI Global Solutions. So, he has 4 years in the recruitment industry for sourcing. He handles out-of-town job fair events, job caravans, and applicant engagement activities. Currently connected with VXI Global Solutions, he serves as the talent acquisition officer. Again, the talent acquisition officer from sourcing team of VXI Global Solutions, Mr. JP Galarion. Hi, Sir JP. Good afternoon po.
Hi,
Pleasure
hello
to meet you
Joyce.
sa
Good
topic
afternoon. Good afternoon,
tayo.
everyone.
Ayan, sir. Can we test po your share screen, sir?
Hi, hold on.
All right.
There. Ayan.
Ayan, wala pa, sir. I think it's loading. Ayan. Can you please share again, sir? Wala pa. Hindi pa siya nagka-up sa
Okay, sige,
screen.
hold on. Let me just reshare it again.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. There.
Alright. So, yes, sir, it's up. So, if you're ready po, I'll leave it to it po. I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Sir JP.
Okay, thank you so much, Joyce. All right, so hi everyone. Especially for those who's watching at home, I hope everyone is safe and healthy. So for today's topic of mine, actually, it's gonna be how does work from home work really. So here, so my first slide. So work from home setup would be the main subject or topic of my discussion. So, as a global community working together to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus, many of you might be working from home. Since you are a graduating student, there are more opportunities from other industry who's offering work from home, right? So for a and this is for a more sustained period than you have before when you are studying, or in some cases, or with others at home with you. So we recognize that for some of you who might be working from home, and this is new and can be difficult. So with this guide, we have or I have collected resources, guidance, and tips to help you stay healthy, engaged, and productive. Okay. So I have three subjects here that we will be discussing for today's presentations. So these are the guide to working from home. So first would be the setup workspace. Second is the stay connected to each other. And third would be the manage your time and well-being. Okay, so for the first subject, it's gonna be the setup for your physical workspace. So take the time to set up a workspace and is safe, comfortable, and where you can work effectively. So for the first topic, of course, is the safe and secure space. So according to my research, it is also okay, or it is also more effective that we find a space to work with good ventilation, proper lighting, good ergonomics, and comfortable furniture are just few to consider. So why we need to make sure that this is a safe and secure space? Because one of the things that makes us efficient and productive doing our job is having a comfortable and a safe space, of course. So second would be minimize distractions and disruptions. So if possible, aim for a space with minimal distractions like noise or clutter and disruptions as well. So we realized that this can be challenging with others home as well as during this time. So here in the Philippines, some of us or many of us are currently working at home, of course, like me also. So one of the major things that we need to consider is the environment, kung saan nakaset up yung equipments na meron tayo. Especially for those sa inyo, for example, sa inyo na mag-apply for a BPO company or for a call center company, especially when you are hired for a voice account. So technically, pag voice account, you need to speak with different people to your customers. So you have to make sure that on your space, quiet yung place, and also you need to consider that kasi if you have team meetings or if you have huddles or things that you need to tackle with your boss or with your leaders, you have to make sure that the environment or the place is quiet so that both you and the customer or your boss can talk clearly and more efficient as well. So third is a place for equipment and materials. So identify a workplace where your equipment and materials can remain undisturbed even if you shift locations during the day. So this is also one of the important things that we need to consider at most. Like for example, sa scenario ni Sam kanina from PSG that they are giving equipments to their employees or dun sa mga ma-hire nilang applicants. So we need to make sure that the space or the place that we have are safe with the equipment that we have. Para syempre, of course, we need to consider na hindi siya masira or gumana siya ng maayos and whatnot. Even if it's your personal laptops or PCs, you need to consider that the space is safe for the equipment also. So for the second subject is to stay connected to each other. So there are many ways to stay connected while working from home. So first is to communicate often. So make it a habit to connect frequently with your colleagues and stakeholders. Open at Teams channels for ongoing conversation or start a shared document to share progress updates. So since we are working from home, we are working remotely. So especially in our job here as a recruiter, we are talking to different stakeholders and partners. So we have to make sure that we are um always online. We all also have the tools that we need to communicate with them. For example, when you get hired, guys, and you need to talk to someone, especially to your TLs or your supervisor or your boss, it is very important that you communicate it to them kasi hindi na face-to-face yung interaction. Unlike pag naka-work on-site tayo, we can just go to them and talk to them, especially when we feel anxious, for example. Like ako, for example, on my work, syempre hindi naman yan perfect. And sometimes stressful talaga yung pagtatrabaho. Sometimes talaga you will feel low to yourself, and talking to someone and expressing to someone what you feel nung face to face is very heartwarming. So in this time, especially when we are working on site, it is also important that we communicate all the thoughts and feelings that we have to our stakeholders, partners, and leaders or bosses also. So virtual huddle. So quick meetings are effective at getting everyone on the same page quickly. Schedule a quick call with your collaborators to get the same impact of a quick in-person connections. So virtual huddle. So this is actually what we are doing every now since the pandemic. We are doing the virtual huddle, and I can tell you guys that this is very effective, that you and your teammates are in the same call to discuss things, also sharing of your emotions and your feelings virtually, kasi in this kind of virtual huddle you'll be able to know each other. Kasi nga, yeah, like what I've mentioned earlier, since hindi naman tayo magkakasama sa isang workspace, it's better that we get along with our teammates or with our colleagues virtually, kasi nakikita natin kung ano yung reactions nila, yung physical reactions nila and all. So this is one of the very most important things that we need to do while we are doing work from home. So second is make space for fun. Use a Teams channel dedicated to fun. Share news, pictures, and stories. Try a GIF sticker or emoji to express yourself. So yeah, since sometimes working at home is stressful kasi isolated ka, mag-isa mo lang ganyan. So it is very helpful to us that we have parang isang space or isang tool like Messenger, for example, Viber ganyan, or Teams, when we can talk funny things aside from work, because it will relieve us from the stress that we have during our work. So that's are the three major objectives that I wanted to share for our topic number two, which is stay connected to each other. Okay, so number three is manage your time and well-being. In challenging circumstances, especially right now in pandemic, we need to remember to take a step back and focus on our health, well, wellness and mindset. So number one is see what is important. So everybody working from home, you might see an increase in messages. Use the settings available in Teams and Outlooks to customize notification and prioritize conversation. So for those who are still not familiar with the Teams and Outlook, these are the corporate tools that we need that we are using to communicate with one another, to our partners, to our stakeholders. So by this, we need to consider what to prioritize while working at home, especially when we are on shift. Like sa Teams is like a messenger actually, guys, which you can choose to parang available na sign and offline ganyan. So sa Teams, of course, since this is one of the major tools that we use to communicate with others, we have to make sure that we put available options while we are on shift, so that other people or other from our team will identify if we are online, 'di ba? So those are the things that we need to prioritize, is to um make sure that we are that our partners are well aware that kung online ba tayo or no, so that they will know kung kailan nila tayo ina-notify if they need something from us. So number two is don't forget to take breaks. It can be difficult to remember to take breaks, 'di ba? Kasi like especially if you are working from home, technically all you will do pag gising mo pa lang is to work until end of your shift. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but you have to here, according to my presentation, is to use your calendar to turn meals and breaks into appointments, so you get regular reminders. Block time on your calendar for exercise and fresh air, or just time to step away from the workspace. Ayan. So you just need to make sure that on your calendar it is being well organized. Kung kailan yung lunch, kung kailan yung appointments, kung kailan yung time for work talaga. Because it is really important that we take our breaks, our lunch, our yossi break, ganyan, our coffee break, for example. It is very important that we take time for ourselves, for us to to be focused on the job that we are currently doing. Next is checking in with you and others. So it's important to check in with yourself and be mindful of how you are feeling. Anxiety, loneliness, and other feelings are perfectly normal, and we have resources to help you to take care. Be sure to check on with others within your community. So yeah, it's gonna be a different story from what we have way before the pandemic, or the pandemic. Kasi this time nagle-lessen yung um yung socialization natin, kasi we as the Filipino, we really need to socialize with people, to talk with someone, to laugh with someone. But right now, since we are working from home, and some of us are working alone, ganyan, it is very important that we check ourselves if we are okay, if we are lonely, and if we feel those kinds of emotions, we need to make sure that we check into other people. Sabihin natin, ikwento natin, and if we assess to ourselves na we're not fine and all, we need to make sure that we know how to what are the actions that we will be doing to address our emotion. So this is one of the most important things that we need to consider while managing our time and well-being. Okay, so this is the additional topic that I have included also. So the advantages and the disadvantages of working on site. Sorry, working from home. So I will be sharing some of my thoughts on this each bullets also. So on the next slide, I will be discussing the disadvantages. So first, for the advantages, of course, is more independency. So since you are working currently from home, mag-isa ka lang, ganyan, you will assist yourself, or malalaman mo na that you can work alone. Malalaman mo na that you have skills that you can figure out how to do such things by your own, right? So of course, next is the less expenses. Compared working on site, of course, we need to make sure that na meron tayong pera para sa pamasahe natin, meron tayong money for food or for lunch or for our breaks. So if we are working from home, technically it would be more or less expenses because andito na tayo sa bahay, hindi na natin kailangan lumabas, hindi na natin kailangan mamasahe, mapagod, and if we have I mean, if we are working with if you are working and you are with your family, technically they will cook for you. So those are one of the advantages. So next is the increased productivity, improve technical skills, improve communication skills. So these three are very effective or really improving when you are working from home because mag-isa ka lang and then you know how to manage your skills. You know how to um, elevate your skills on your own since you're working from home. So more work flexibility. So you can work flexible when you are working at home. So like for example, yung mga urgent na needs sa'yo, ang mga bosses, ang mga leaders, ganyan, then you can just open your laptop or your PC and send them the file that they need. Also, you can work ng mas maaga or na mas late since you're just working from home. So no office distractions. So this is of course the difference because since you're working from home, there are some distractions that we might experience pag nasa work tayo, like for example the chismis ganyan kasi right now since marites na ang mga Pilipino, we tend to make small talks or to make small chika while we are working on site. So well technically sa work natin if you are working from home digital na lahat. So no distractions from anything compared if we are working on site. So collaborate across locations, build professional networks, grant and incentives. So on this three, of course, yung network natin nag-expand siya kasi we have more time to research, to explore things since we are working virtually and with the help of internet. So reduction in work absences. So of course, since we are working from home, wala nang absent. I mean, like not unless if you're feeling well or if you are I mean if you are unwell, right? Kasi like pagising mo sa umaga, you just need to prep yourself up and then work. And then after shift, now you can just go to bed. So it's more efficient for us to be more productive since andyan lang naman yung PC, andyan lang naman yung laptop ko. So I can work on time and all. So increased satisfaction provides more job opportunities and provide work-life balance. So in this, since we are working from home, there's no less na yung pagod since hindi na tayo magbabiyahe pa. For example, especially for those sobrang layong locations. So for me, for example, I used to work in Mall of Asia in Pasay and I used to live in Parañaque. So technically Parañaque from MOA is quite near lang naman, pero the traffic is there. So, like inaabot ako ng 2 hours sa biyahe ko punta pa lang ng office and then another 2 hours from office going home. So, you like imagine the pagod bago ka mag-work and pag-uwi mo. So, since if you are working from home, yung satisfaction tsaka yung increase mo to be efficient and productive is there kasi lahat ng energy mo will be just by doing your job. And of course, the work-life balance, which is very important to us, na that's one of the advantage on working at home kasi we can take rest na right after shift. Pwede na tayong magpahinga after shift or we can work out before our shift compared to working on site na like yeah we have different issues but again guys that's the advantages that I see from my end since I'm currently working from home compared to what I have compared when I was working on site. But of course, when I was working on site, it's more also masaya kasi I get to talk with my team, I get to meet different people since tayo as a Filipino we wanted to you know to socialize with someone. So I'm not saying na working on site is bad. Because during my time it's very more efficient for me, of course, kasi madaldal tayo maingay. We have lots of story to tell, lahat ng mga issues natin um to ourselves and to our office can be expressed dun mga ka-teammates mo na mga makakausap mo. So it would be siguro it's gonna be depending on the situations that we have right now, especially the workload that we will be handling. Because on our company, to be honest, for our agent openings, we encourage our applicants to work on site. Why? Because that's one of our clients need that you work on site. Of course, syempre, if you work on site, guided kayo ng mga leaders, guided kayo ng mga TLs, guided kayo ng mga co-workmates nyo if you are working on site. So these are the disadvantages naman that I feel during my time working at home. So increase the isolation, of course, because since you are working from home, meaning you stay the longer sa bahay. So yun nga, since as a Filipino, we love to talk, nag increase yung time natin magstay sa bahay kasi we are working from home. So, home office cost. So, of course, we will be paying for our internet, also the kuryente that we will be using for our equipment. So, yeah, those are some of the disadvantages. So risk of overworking and risk of productivity. So risk of overworking, since ayun nga, we are confident that we are working from home, we can just do all the works kahit na lapse na yung time kasi andiyan lang naman tayo sa bahay. I mean, 'di ba? Since andiyan lang naman yung tabi ng bed natin, pwede kong tapusin to hanggang 12 a.m. ganyan. So that's one of the disadvantages kasi tayo mga Filipino, we are very competitive. We are very hardworking. So we tend to make sure that we finish all our works kahit overdue na. So that's some sort of the disadvantages. So number 5 is the distractions at home. Workplace disconnect. Disproportionate work-life balance and less face time. So, of course, distractions from home sometimes, especially if you will be applying for an agent position like what I've mentioned na um, pag call center, you need to talk to different customers. So, sometimes maingay. Tapos may disconnection pa ng mga internet. 'Di ba? And yung work-life balance also hindi natin mawi-weigh kasi we decide na lang to work na lang mag-work na lang siguro ako ng overtime or tapusin ko na lang tong tapusin ko na lang lahat ngayon. Mag-overwork na lang ako, it's fine kasi naka-work from home naman ako. So naka-compromise din yung work-life balance. And lastly is the less face time. So yeah, technically like what I've mentioned also, all the things that we will be doing is virtually. So there's gonna be less face time with other people outside our home. So imagine new hire ka tapos you don't get to meet all your friends or your colleagues or your teammates because you are working from home. That's some of the disadvantages that I have figured. But yeah, I guess guys, it's gonna be depending on the work situation that you will be needing or if ever you get hired for the job. So yeah, thank you. That's all for my presentations for today.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Jaja. Ayan. So, guys, the floor is now open for questions. So, ang ganda ng topic ni Sir JP. Sana nakinig kayo. So, if you have questions and if you are curious regarding the topic na yan, you may now ask questions. Okay? So, while waiting for questions, Sir, of course, I've prepared 3 questions lang naman. So, ayan. So, and nakarelate ako, especially kapag ikaw yung buhay ng office, ikaw talaga yung marites ng office. Marami kang kwento
Yeah,
every time.
totoo.
Nung nagkaroon ng transition, sir, from office to work from home, di ba? Sobrang hirap mag-adjust. Sobrang hirap
Yeah,
talaga
totoo ako din kasi yun nga, 'di ba? Tayo yung buhay ng office when back then nung on-site pa so tayo masaya lang, gusto natin kausap
Mm-mm.
lahat, gusto natin mag-share, ganyan, maging marites, kumbaga. So, kumbaga, medyo challenging tayo sa ganun kasi magtatay pa tayo, mag-video call para lang makipag-usap, makipag-chismisan. Pero,
Totoo, sir.
yeah, that's it. That's the things that we can compromise naman para naman din
Mm.
maging safe. I mean, given the pandemic, ganyan.
Ayan, and of course napaisip din ako, sir, 'no. So yun, oo nga 'no, yung mga fresh graduates ngayon,
Mm-mm.
first job nila, and yet hindi sila magkakaroon ng
Mm-mm.
chance to meet personally itong mga
Mm-mm.
katrabaho nila, 'no. Kung tayo nga nung una nga nahirapan tayo, 'di ba, halubilo pa nung mga time na yun, paano pa itong
Totoo.
mga 'to, 'di ba? So ayun, sir, so ayun, ang dami nating chika, sir, halatang-halata. Halatang-halata, sir. Ayan, so first, um of course, we'd like to set expectations po for this graduating students. So, what are the things po a job seeker must expect in this new normal?
Well, what do we expect? Maybe is that this time we will be more independent na to
Mm-mm.
ourselves kasi like
Mm-mm.
what I've mentioned, if we are working from home, yung challenges natin to communicate, our challenges and opportunities while working is less compared to um if we are working on site, kasi we can just approach si boss or si TL or si manager na like, paano ko po gagawin yung ganito, paano po magiging ganyan.
Mm-mm.
So pag work from home, well, technically, on the brighter side is that you will know how to keep up on yourself, yung magiging independent ka. So yeah, that's I think one of the major thing that I can set for the expectations for our newly grad. But I'm not limiting um that for work from home, kasi like what I mentioned, VXI is currently engaging or encouraging our applicants to work on site kasi nga the proper guidance is there. So
Mm-mm.
we all have a choice if we are be working at home or on site. So sa amin, yeah, since we have options to work on site, the expectations naman there is that even if we have the pandemic, there are companies, especially our companies, is really making sure of the safety and the protocols that we need to follow pag naka face-to-face on-site na tayo. Well, andyan na nga lang yung face mask compared dati tayo nang wala. Sige
Mm-mm.
lang, usap tayo, tawa tayo, chika, ganyan. Well, ngayon, syempre, minimize na natin yung mga
Mm-mm.
sobrang lapit na usapan because of the protocols.
Mm-mm. Yes, tama, sir. First, number two question po, aside from, of course, monetary, diba? So, health benefits po are more sought after than ever. And of course, especially this pandemic po. So, aside
Yes.
from physical health benefits, these employees po also considering mental health support as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-mm.
Sir, do you think that companies now are prepared for this kind of scenarios?
Well,
Seeking
mm-mm.
additional day off po for saying mental
Mm-mm.
health. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm sharing based from my experience and with my company. Kasi
Mm.
actually this is my first company, so I've been here for 6 years na actually already. So I have seen yung transition from the time that we are on site, and then from the time that we are working from home. So what I have seen maybe on our company is that, yeah, they make sure that we have proper guidance. Mas kumbaga mas tumibay as of this time yung mga coaching, yung pangangamusta, yung pang-check na pag-check naming mga leaders to our teams, kasi medyo mentally distracting talaga yung nangyayari. Kasi na like, magkakaroon na naman tayo ng, for example, level 3, ganyan. So, biglang magkakaroon na naman tayo ng
Mm.
mga restrictions, may mga limited things that we need to do, or worst, may mga empleyado na pwede mo nang ma-TL or ma-floating, ganyan. So, it's mentally distracting talaga. So, actually, I think what I'm lucky about the company, the VXI, is that they make sure that we are being taken care of in terms of our mental health. Ganon.
Mm. Ayan. So, and of course, sir, you've mentioned kanina yung the advantages and disadvantages of working from home. And still lot of people or employees are confused with the after work from home, or
Hmm.
sometimes nako-confuse sila, 'di ba? Work at home or work and home. So how do you set boundaries from work and home? Kasi 'di ba minsan
Mm-mm.
less yung productivity kasi nga yung
Mm-mm.
office or yung table mo nasa katabi lang ng kama, 'di ba? Or pwede kang humiga kasi nakagano'n ka lang. So
Totoo.
how do we set boundaries, or how important it is po to set boundaries while we work from
Ah.
home?
So, well, first, of course, we apply for the job, di ba? I mean,
Mm.
that's where we get our, may mga pangailangan na kailangan natin. Siguro by setting our priorities first, that's the time when we know how to limit ourselves on being petics, kumbaga, since we are just
Mhm.
working from home. So we know naman na this is our career, this is the path that we are taking, the company is paying us for the job. So I think it's very important that we consider na like yung principle mo as a worker is that you need to limit you know your limitations, not just by work, syempre yung ano din yung well-being mo rin na sa tao. I mean, hindi naman pwedeng like since naka-work from home ka, lagi ka na lang mag-overwork, lagi ka na lang mag-OT since accessible naman sa lahat. So I think, guys, especially for our graduating student, during our time in our school, we tend to manage, ayun, nag-graduate na kayo. So you were able to manage your work and at the same time is yung life balance. So we can apply that to our work by just prioritizing what we need most, and everything will follow. Of course, well-being and the work is important. So we just need to set boundaries and take our priorities first before we do our job or our home thing. Ganon.
Alright, ayan. So, ayan, thank you so much, Sir JP. And I think wala na pong question from the
Mm-mm.
audience. So, sir, ano na lang po, I think, syempre, merong openings and vacancies po si VXI, no, for our graduating students. Baka
Yes.
interested po sila.
Ayan. So for our viewers, yeah, I am inviting everyone to drop by to our sites. Well, technically in the Philippines, we have lots of sites and we are accepting candidates with or without call center experience. Okay, for the educational background, actually, we are accepting second year, senior high school graduate and at least second year college, completed 2 years in college. Yeah, and we are
Mhm.
for the educational background, and we are not limited to the experience. So may experience ka man o wala, we are here for you because we provide trainings. You just need to pass the recruitment process from the initial interview to the job offer, and then we will be endorsing you for the training para ma-enhance yung skills natin, especially when we don't have experience yet. And of course, paid ka na during the training. All right. So for our Manila sites, we have four sites. First is in Quezon City. It's actually located in Muñoz. In Walter Mart. It's actually near Walter Mart Muñoz. So that's one. Second is our Bridgetown site located in Ortigas. Third is our site located in Makati, Buendia. And last is our Mall of Asia site located in Pasay. And we also have site located here in Pampanga. So I'm currently here in Pampanga. Well, I'm originally from Manila, Joyce. Pero since I have site here in Pampanga, I relocated here and work from home because alam mo na, pandemya, ang mga cases. Hindi, joke lang.
Tama
But
po.
yeah, there. So, yeah, we have sites here in Clark. I'm encouraging everyone to apply to our sites. We're currently ramping from this Q1 from January to March. We have lots of opportunities waiting for you. And for those who's watching who have friends in Davao, we have sites there as well, located in SM Ecoland, Philcris Centrale, Robinsons, Lanang, and in Delta. So yeah, we have lots of sites here in the Philippines, meaning the company is growing. And if the company is growing, meaning the company is good to their employees. You know what I'm
Alright.
saying? Yeah.
Yes,
So you
yes.
can find us on Facebook. We have Facebook page. It's gonna be VXI PH, and you can also send your applications through jobs180.com/VXI. And yeah, our site is open for all walk-in applicants, and we prioritize applications for those who's going to walk in, of course. Yeah, that's it, Joyce. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir JP. Thank you so much po for joining us today. We wish to have you again on our next set of
Sure,
webinars.
sure.
Yan. Pasok ka na, sir, sa mga fave list ng speaker natin.
Bilang machika tayo, di ba? Yun ang gusto ng mga
Opo, yan.
viewers, yung maraming...
Tama, sir. Tapos
Thank you,
maraming
Joyce.
natutunan. Thank you so much, Sir JP. Maraming salamat po at ingat. Alright.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, guys, if you're interested, again, you may visit jobs180.com/VXI. Okay? Okay. So, for today, so to officially close our program, may we invite Ms. Maria Isabel de Granada, the Director of Office of Scholarships, Job Placement, and Alumni Relations for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Sir Kim. Nakikita na po ba ako sa
Yes, ma'am,
screen?
you're up po.
Okay. Envergans, thank you for your participations. Please know that we are committed to providing you, equipping you rather, of necessary skills and values, perceptions, and views that will assure your better and assured future. Kumbaga. Thus, we collaborate and partner with industries that will guide you to meaningful employment opportunities. And so we value our partner, jobs180.com. We would also like to thank Miss Sam Bugos of PSG Global Solutions, and Sir JP Galarion of VXI Global. Invergans, please evaluate our activity this afternoon. And yes, I'm going to leave you with a challenge to reskill, upskill, because we really want you to live or strive for a world that works 100%. So let us continue to grow and serve God and country. Godspeed in Vergans. Thank you again, jobs180.com.
Thank you so much also, Miss Mabel. Thank you so much po for collaborating with Jobs 180 again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so and of course, guys, do not forget to evaluate this event. I believe the link is flashed or is on your screen right now. It's also available at the comment section. Okay, it's important for you guys to evaluate the event because this is one of your attendance. So first is the pre-registration link given by Jobs 180, and then this one from, of course, from Miss Mabel. Okay, so please evaluate, guys. Okay. So, and of course, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. We hope that the webinar helps you be prepared in the world of work, and it's okay to fail. Okay, so just stand up and try again. Sabi nga ng mga speakers natin kanina, we would like to thank also the MSEUF, the Office of Scholarships, Job Placement, and Alumni Relations, especially Ms. Mabel, for today's event, for collaborating with Jobs 180. We would like to thank also our sponsors for today, for being our corporate sponsors for this event. So you may check out again our page for more career opportunities. And of course, please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. Please check out our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are guys welcome again to join in on those sessions too. Okay, so if you didn't have any questions, the program has finally concluded. This is your host again, Joyce Katakutan. We will see you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat everyone.
As an institution of higher learning, the Manuel Enverga University Foundation continues its legacy of education, empowerment, and excellence. Through the years, MSEUF has always lived up to its commitment to education by setting standards and going beyond the uncharted. The passion for excellence has produced more ambitious goals and innovations. Records show the bold accomplishments of Manuel Enverga University Foundation as a premier university in the Philippines. We are progressing and meeting the demands of globalization. We are relentless in our efforts to develop leaders in the profession. We are forever driven to pursue for the production of knowledge in various disciplines. A university with integrity, we live up to our purpose of empowering the community. Definitely, our vision for quality education, as seen in our pursuit to shine in terms of instruction, research, and community service will carry on. Manuel's Enverga University Foundation fulfills its goal of developing students' passion for excellence, personal commitment, loyalty and discipline, creativity and critical thinking to reach their dreams and be part of the world. With its distinct competitiveness, the Manuel's Enverga University Foundation truly provides a culture where students can revel in to build their solid future. With respect for human dignity, moral sensitivity, and recognition of cultural differences, we value camaraderie and goodwill, solidarity, and understanding. Our drive for excellence is powered by our mission of molding professionals who are ready for the world. We share a common vision to achieve our dreams as obstacles and challenges strengthen us. We continue to blaze new learning. We explore, discover, and adjust to the rapidly changing world. Manuel's Enverga University Foundation organized its academic units to ensure global competitiveness. MSEUF has achieved several recognitions and awards in various areas. Through a partnership with various institutions, we maximize the power of education by letting different cultures meet. We share our philosophy by sharing our resources to the community. To become a world-class institution of knowledge and higher learning, Manuel's Enverga University Foundation is taking great strides toward excellence. Manuel's Enverga University Foundation leads fine-tuned thinking outside the box. Our goal is to broaden students' horizons and lead them to a better future. We continue to be one of the country's top universities through creativity and innovation. Realize your global potential. Lead to newer heights to reach your dreams. This is the Manuel's Enverga University Foundation, bringing family tradition beyond excellence.
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.